Let's talk about today. Before we talk about week 9, let's talk about what happened today. A taste of what we're likely going to see when these two teams go on the continent. MFM taking on Akwa United at the Recruiting Soccer Temple. That's the Agege Stadium. 1-0 for MFM over Akwa United. An interesting game of football. It could have gone either way. And I'm happy. We'd rather see Mboma, even Gabriel Okechukwu that came in a few minutes on both sides. Sigurd Olatubos who got a goal. Onua that a lot of people said a lot of good things about. Very, very interesting game. And this also, unfortunately, wasn't on TV, but a good advertisement for Nigerian football.
Two of the ball-playing sides of the Nigerian Premier League. Two teams that really like to knock the ball around. And that MFM, we've seen them week in, week out in Lagos do their thing. And I think MFM just surprised everybody. Yeah. I recall last week we were talking about the team and going on the continent. I remember saying something like any result that is not beyond the 1-0.
It's a good result
for them. And they came out and shot everybody, came up with that fantastic result. Now for them, this is like a dress rehearsal for what is expected to happen on Wednesday. For Akwa, losing 2 games on the bounce, the continental game, and this one, I don't think it's good enough. I recall I asked the coach, Mekaba, if the boys are really down. For him, he said he's taking positives from this game, that the boys played very well.
They did.
The response that he got from the boys was encouraging, and with that attitude, he's expecting that they'll go to Gambia. He's still believing that they can get the result in Gambia.
Okay, let's see. Can Akwa United get a job done after losing 2 games back-to-back? We'll see. Impossible is nothing in football. That must be said. If the Banjul Hawks can come here, defeat Akwa United, who says that the Promise Keepers can't go all the way to Gambia and get a result? Who says? I mean, a lot of strange things happen in football. All right, let's talk about week 9 matches across Nigeria. There you have it. A lot of interesting games. Alfred, let me run through this and allow you to talk about the games that will be your pick. And that's why United will take on Kwara United. Katsina United takes on FC Ifeanyi. Alkanemi Warriors take on Goran. Atlan will take on Wiki Tourist. Kano Pillars will take on Eyimba. Easily the pick of the pack. Abia Warriors take on Yobe Desert Stars, and Rivers United take on Niger Tornado. These are the fixtures for week 9. Alfred, anybody will easily say Pillars, Eyimba, but I don't know if you have other matches you think we should be watching out for.
No, for me that's the game of the weekend. I mean, between these two teams, presently about 5 former Eyimba players play for Kano Pillars. Captain Chinedu Udoji, I beg your pardon. Emmanuel Anyang also one of them. You know, players who in time past were playing for the People's Elephant. Now they found a place in the Caliphate, and so that is one game for both teams. Especially for Eyimba, not a particularly good start. Kano Pillars, yes, a couple of results on the road, but none of them have been able to win on the road. So for Eyimba, perhaps maybe an opportunity. The return of the players that they had in the Chan team will kind of boost their confidence. I don't know whether Ikechukwu is good enough to start. I think he's still recuperating from the injury, but they have the full complement of other players who are back now. And when it comes to the traditional teams in the NPFL, it can't come bigger than Eyimba and Kano Pillars. Both of them with pedigree. There was time when it was either Eyimba dominating the league or Kano Pillars. Good followership spread across the country. So these big teams expect a full house in Kano. I want to see how Eyimba react. They beat the league defending champions in the rescheduled game. Talking about Plateau United. That's one response. We expect them to get results on the road. They've not been able to manage that this season yet, and expectations are high. That will also be a good test. Eyimba too will be representing us on the continent when the time comes, and of course you will expect a packed stadium in Kano, and we'll see how Eyimba handles that pressure in that one. But trust Pillars, they'll be hoping that they'll be able to get victory from this one. Well, of course, from us here, we hope the better side will win that game. But of course, that will be the star match for week 9. All right, let's leave that cracker that would
being Kano, talking about Pillars and Eyimba. Let's quickly talk about Heartland. Alfred. The management of the club, talking about motivation, how key motivation is for the players to ensure that they stay in the top flight, to ensure that they return, pride return, should I say pride of place, but bring the glory days back to Heartland and banish the memories of, and that's it. Talking about new jerseys, talking about the unveiling, and talking about their plans for the new season. The key focus for them is player welfare, and I think that's very, very important.
It's very, very key. Given the way they started, it didn't particularly the expectations, commencement of the new season. When they came for the NNL Super 4, for them, they used this as a pre-season. This was just days to the commencement only. So nobody gave them a chance. But this team stayed up to week, played 7 weeks without losing a game. Yes, you might argue that, okay, they lost they lost to Rangers in a way. That was a surprising result. But they were about the last team to lose an away game. That was when they lost to FC Fanyoba. Impossible games that you think that they won't get the result. Against anybody, they got the result away. Yes, they might not have won, but somehow they just stayed in there. It took them time. They got their first win against Katsina United or so. But players who are Julius Obido is one of the longest serving players of this club. They used the opportunity to launch their new kits for this season. You might argue that it should have come earlier than this, but it's better late than never. I hope that going forward, these things we do them before
appropriately.
Do them before the commencement of the season, so that these jerseys are looking very, very
pleasing on the eye.
Very, very pleasing to the eye. So if anybody wants a replica, you can easily just pick it up and be part of the club. Because for me, I believe that clubs should have multiple. We all tie to the apron string of governments. So some of us believe that the club should be able to be enterprising enough to look for extra means of
other sources
of getting money, and club merchandising is one of them.
All right, let's listen to the club chairman, Etumena Good Faith, talking about their plans for the players and the new direction of the club.
And I'm happy now. In fact, I can't wait to see my players to where to play. It has been my dream, so I'm happy today, to be honest. Football is all about motivation, and it can motivate a player financially, it can motivate a player materially, and otherwise. So I seeing them with such a beautiful quality jersey is also a motivation. So I'm happy that my players are very close to my heart, very close to the management, very close to the coaches, very close to the supporters. In fact, we live like one family, to be honest.